Welcome to the program Transforming Agriculture in Nigeria, a program that's specifically designed to showcase the agricultural sector in Nigeria and the efforts of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security and other stakeholders to exploit the potentials. I am Gabriel Ojile, your regular anchor. Cassava is one of Nigeria's major staple crops, and it has the potential of addressing the challenges of food security in the country. This is because every component of the cassava plant is useful and cassava products are widely consumed nationwide. This episode of Transforming Agriculture in Nigeria will focus on the cassava value chain and the efforts of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security and other stakeholders to boost cassava production and value addition in the country. Stay tuned for the full program after this short break. From the north to the south of Nigeria lies over 70 million hectares of arable agricultural land, a country teeming with agricultural potentials where crops like rice, maize, wheat, sorghum, cassava, yams, fruits, and vegetables thrive. Vast opportunities abound in cash crop production like oil palm, cocoa, cashew, rubber along the value chain and a temperate weather for healthy livestock rearing. Invest today in production, processing, and marketing of agricultural produce. Invest for wealth creation, job opportunities, and upliftment of livelihoods. Agriculture in Nigeria, where return on investment is guaranteed. Transforming Agriculture in Nigeria begins with a diary segment. In our lineup, Federal University of Education set to honor Minister of State. Also, Self-Help Africa, in collaboration with Agri Ministry, trains farmers on climate change. Sit back for details after this short break.
The federal government has emphasized its commitment to place Nigeria on the map of top cocoa-producing countries of the world so as to boost job creation, economic growth, and food security in the country. The Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Kyari, gave the assurance at the just concluded meeting of the International Cocoa and Chocolate Forum ICCF 2026, which held in London. Speaking on the theme, Reclaiming Value, Shaping Rules, Nigeria's Vision for Cocoa Sovereignty, Kyari stated that Nigeria has natural advantages in cocoa production, including fertile soil, suitable agroecological zones, and a deeply rooted farming tradition. The minister disclosed that the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is committed to supporting sustainable development initiatives, promoting responsible foreign investment, and advancing efforts to increase productivity, expand trade, and deepen economic activity across the agricultural sector. He revealed that Nigeria is strengthening economic ties through the African Continental Free Trade Area to enhance intra-African trade and global competitiveness. This, he said, will promote regulatory compliance, carbon-smart cocoa production, and youth inclusion in agriculture. The minister added that Nigeria has gazetted its provisional schedule of tariff concessions and is advancing the African Continental Free Trade Area implementation, projected to boost intra-African trade by 53.3% this year, while also engaging the international partners like the EU and CPTPP to promote trade sovereignty. Senator Kyari restated Nigeria's commitment to sustainable development, climate resilience, and youth inclusion in the cocoa sector. In doing so, he said the country enacted the Climate Change Act, articulated a clear pathway to net zero emissions by 2060, and is implementing the National Cocoa Development Plan to promote modern farming practices and value chain development. Highlight of the event was the presentation of a special award for transforming Nigeria's cocoa industry to the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Kyari. The management team of the Federal University of Education, Kotangora, Niger State, recently paid a courtesy visit to the Minister of State, Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Aliyu Sabi Abdullahi. In the discussions that ensued, the Vice Chancellor of the university revealed the intention of the institution to name some projects in the Agricultural Education Department after him in recognition of his contribution to the establishment of the university.
As a senator representing Niger North Senatorial Zone, you initiated and sponsored the bill for the establishment of the university, and thereafter followed up to ensure that the bill was eventually assented to by the late former President Muhammadu Buhari on the 31st of December 2021. We also want to appreciate you, sir, for your presence during the ministerial assessment visit, which was a precondition for the take-up of the university. In fact, the Honorable Minister was there in company of other friends and the Honorable Minister of State for Education then, Dr. Sonono. We will never forget that, sir. Honorable Minister, sir, in order to show our deepest appreciation, the university wishes to obtain your kind consent to name a project at Agricultural Education Department comprising laboratories, lecture halls, and staff offices after you, as a mark of honor and appreciation for your invaluable contribution to the university.
In his response, the Minister of State, Federal University of Agriculture and Food Security, Aliyu Sabi Abdullahi, appreciated the team for coming and assured the university of his continuous support.
You can count on me at all times. Whatever needs to be done to support you, that is within my powers, I will. And of course, I will also put in words to my friend to see that this is my baby and I want the baby to survive. So he should help. And of course, the directors who are here, I'm sure they've listened to what you have said. When you leave, we'll sit down and take a look at how and whichever way we could be helping.
Senator Sabi Abdullahi Aliyu further urged the pioneer Vice Chancellor of the university to lay a solid foundation for the institution.
If there is anything we need in bigger quantity, it's agri-education. The mainstay of Nigerian economy is agriculture. 70% of our population are involved in agriculture, directly or indirectly. Yet, education or agri-education is being put at the sideline. So to me, I think if your university, as it is going to play a major role in that, then you are meeting the demands of your location. Or if you
The organization Self-Help Africa, in collaboration with the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security and other stakeholders, has trained farmers in 15 communities across the 6 geopolitical zones of the country on how to prevent short-lived climate pollutants in the nation's agricultural sector. Speaking during the final validation and project dissemination workshop recently held in Abuja, the Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, Marcus Olani Ogumbiyi, stated that the project has helped in behavioral change from activities that cause environmental pollution to good agricultural practices that prevent climate pollution.
Across over 20 demonstration plots in 15 communities, farmers successfully adopted improved and climate-smart agricultural practices, including water-efficient rice production method that reduce methane emissions, climate-resilient cowpea cultivation techniques, sustainable residue management and mulching practices that replace open field burning, and the introduction of locally fabricated briquette-making technologies, that is converting agricultural waste into clean and usable energy sources. Most importantly, the project achieved measurable behavioral change. Farmers moved away from traditional burning practices and embraced conservation agricultural techniques that protect soil health, improve yield, and reduce emissions. These demonstration plots have since evolved into community learning centers, strengthening peer-to-peer knowledge transfer and ensuring local ownership of climate-smart innovations.
Also speaking, the Director, Agricultural Land and Climate Change Management Services, Oshadia Olanikwekun, highlighted the negative effects of short-lived pollutants to the environment and agriculture.
short-lived climate pollutants, which includes methane and black carbon, pose serious risks to our climate, air quality, and public health. In Nigeria, where agriculture remains a major economic driver and a significant emission source, addressing SLCP offers a unique opportunity to reduce global warming, improve environmental health, and enhance agricultural productivity.
In her welcome address, Nigeria Country Director Self-Help Africa, Joy Aderele, appreciated the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security and other stakeholders for their contribution to the success of the program and urged them to deliberate on scaling up the project.
Your guidance and collaboration have been critical in advancing climate-smart agriculture and promoting sustainable land management practices across our project community and across the nation as a whole. Implemented with the generous support of the Climate and Clean Air Coalition, is a UN agency. This project has demonstrated practical and scalable novel alternatives that reduce black carbon emission and other short-lived climate pollutants, while improving soil health, farm productivity, and farmer livelihoods. The project has also strengthened extension systems. We have a representative of extension agents in our midst and builds farmer capacity. We also have farmers in our midst because there is no intervention for them outside of them. And generated evidence to inform policy and national action. We're going to be seeing result findings from our end-line assessment that was conducted, and also all the lessons that we've learned in the 2 years that this project has been implemented.
You are watching Transforming Agriculture in Nigeria, and we are looking at cassava and its value chain, as well as the efforts of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security to develop all aspects of the crop. In our next segment, key functionaries of the ministry will be talking about the potentials of cassava, the challenges of its production, and the success of the ministry in repositioning cassava farming and processing. Keep watching.
Cassava, also known as Manihot esculenta, is a calorie-rich vegetable that is very rich in carbohydrates and key vitamins and minerals. It is a woody shrub that is grown in tropical and subtropical areas of the world. As a staple crop, cassava is important for food security in the tropics, Nigeria in particular, while also meeting the economic needs of Nigerians. Major cassava producing states in Nigeria are Anambra, Benue, Kogi, Cross River, Ondo, Imo, Akwa Ibom, and Rivers State. It is one of the crops that is widely consumed and used for different purposes. At least 7 in every 10 Nigerians consume a product of cassava once in a day. Nigeria is the world's largest producer of cassava, with an estimated 61.121 million metric tons in 2021. An estimated 30 million farmers are involved in the cultivation of cassava in Nigeria. The Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security is saddled with the responsibility and has a mandate that seeks to strengthen the production of cassava value chain.
Cassava development in the country started from, we call enclave production from agricultural seed councils. That was in the mid-70s, 72, 74, where they have projects from agricultural development. It is called Cassava Multiplication Project. It is called NSS to National Agriculture. That was where Cassava Multiplication Project started. From the Cassava Multiplication Project, that project through the World Bank was improved to National Agricultural Council, Agricultural Seed Council, included cassava and all other seed crops. By this, they continue for the improvement of cassava.
Evidence has shown that the ministry's investments and intervention has enhanced cassava production in Nigeria to meet the ever-rising demand for cassava roots. Highlights of the efforts and achievement of the ministry in this direction include
to have a good policy that will drive the production and the processing and the utilization of that crop in conjunction with all other ministry. That is an area. And along this way, ministry is also implementing certain activities with a view to promote the continued uses of this commodity. Such activities is that there are inputs which we agree that if farmers and other stakeholders in processing sectors uses, it will ease production and lead to more output.
Cassava farmers have a role to play. If the impact of the ministry in boosting cassava farming, processing and marketing is to be felt.
We have what is called good agricultural practices. In these good agricultural practices, what it entails is that there are laid down production processes which started from good clearing and timely production. Everything is timed. For instance, there are some cassava commodity that use 90 days. We have some that is above 150 days. So, but those that use 90 days in production, what is essential is that when you are to follow good agricultural practices, you will know the time for planting, the time for harrowing, the time for harvesting. Everything is time and its range. And it falls between the rainfall, the time that rainfall starts, and you relate it with the time that rainfall will end. If all this agricultural, then it involves the times of harvesting, the times of using fertilizer. All this time followed appropriate timing.
All what we did here is mechanized.
It's back to land, back to agriculture.
I can supply the milk factories for milk.
That's the new norm for employment and for wealth creation. Get your piece of the action.
Before farming, we will spread the manure.
There to take on agribusiness.
They have been working in terms of making sure they give us new breeds.
Seize the opportunity you have been waiting for. Watch Transforming Agriculture in Nigeria.
The program is Transforming Agriculture in Nigeria, and we are looking at cassava and its value chain in Nigeria, as well as the collaborations between the ministry and research institutes to develop the cassava value chain. In furtherance of this, we have been talking to researchers and scientists at the Nyanya Abuja outstation of the National Root Crop Research Institute, which has its headquarters in Umudike. The discussions took us through the mandate of the Institute on root crops generally and cassava in particular, touching on value chain and the breakthroughs on research findings, among others. Let's see what we have.
The National Root Crops Research Institute outstation, located in Nyanya, Nasarawa State, is one of the agencies of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security. The institute is an outstation of the Mother Research Institute in Umudike and pursues the same mandate to research roots and tuber crops production.
It carries out the mandate of the institute, which is to conduct research into genetic improvement, production, storage, utilization, and then socioeconomics of root and tuber crops of economic importance, which include cassava, yam, potato, sweet potato, ginger, turmeric, and others.
Continuous effort by the Institute and the Federal Ministry has yielded some breakthroughs and also increased cassava value chain activities on cassava production.
Cassava can be used for a whole lot of things. We have cassava chin-chin, cassava bread, we have the cassava high-quality cassava flour, and a lot we have done that, using our value addition. We call it PDP, Product Development Project, or program in the Institute, and that program is dedicated to value addition. And if you have been able to see what we've been able to display in our some of the programs that we're into, you see that cassava can be processed and used into different, more than 20 food products that are very, very important in the food system and then for food security. So the Institute has done a lot.
Similarly, the result of researches carried by the Institute has not only boosted Nigeria's economy, but also positively affected livelihoods of cassava farmers.
If you look back to some years back, you will discover that the yield of cassava has been very low. But now we've been able to achieve as much as 45 tons per hectare in cassava. And we have also, like I said before, we have been able to make these farmers understand that they need improved seeds, certified improved seed. When I say certified, which means that the planting material must be of high quality, it must be disease-free. And these farmers will plant it and they'll get a value for their money. You can now see farms in the country, farmers that are having 40, 45 tons yield of cassava.
Through the support and partnership between the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, the Institute continues to record successes.
They are the supervising ministry, and then we partner with them in terms of training and all value addition and then development of even some technologies that has to do with some breeding programs, varietal developments, and all that.
The program is still transforming agriculture in Nigeria. Our crew made efforts to speak with cassava farmers and processors, particularly those of them that have benefited from the partnership between the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security and the International Fund for Agricultural Development, IFAD. Let us hear from them in our next segment, Farmers Speak.
Training upon training. We started from Umudike Research Institute. We were trained as cassava entrepreneur. When we came back from Umudike, we were empowered, we were given seeds. So what they gave us was to plant based on 1 hectare of land. We cleared, follow all the farm system we were taught from Umudike. Exactly what they told us happened. They said our harvest will be more faster than the way it was in those days.
We went for a recipe program, which we changed. I now learned how to do gari there. Coming back, I say, let me start up something so that we will help ourselves and the cassava that we left on farm that is rotting. So that is how we start from a small scale. Now we produce in a little bit large scale. Right now, every day in this place, we process 2 tons of cassava.
The future looks bright for cassava farming in Nigeria. The Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security is doing all it can to ensure that where this popular staple is concerned, Nigerians need not worry about availability, variety, and affordability, to the extent that wealth is created for both farmers, processors, and the country. And all things being equal, that goal is achievable. Keep a date with us, same time, same station next week for another interesting package. I am your guide, Gabriel Ojile. Good night.